Got to bring in Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Acho, you like how the Browns are handling their quarterback situation?
This is terrible, Cleveland. Like, as a former Browns player, I'm embarrassed and utterly disappointed. I have secondhand embarrassment of the Cleveland Browns. They found a way to make someone powerless incredibly powerful. Baker Mayfield was one of the most powerless and helpless quarterbacks entering the offseason after struggling this year. But the Browns have given Baker Mayfield all the power, all the cards. The Cleveland Browns were literally the individual who is in first place and trips over the last hurdle and ends up in last. Clear victory over Baker Mayfield, and now they find themselves in this position. Who are the Cleveland Browns? The Cleveland Browns are the individual who is in a relationship and then steps out on their relationship just to find out the person who they cheated with doesn't want them either. Ooh. And now the person who they cheated on doesn't want them. Ooh. And now they stuck single as a Pringle. That's the Cleveland Browns. Because they tried to cheat on Baker Mayfield with Deshaun Watson, find out Deshaun Watson don't want him. Then they tried to go back to Baker Mayfield to find out Baker Mayfield no longer wants him. Now who are you, Cleveland? In a year where the draft class for quarterbacks is as bad as it has ever been. Oh, God, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Cleveland Browns have completely fumbled this quarterback situation. If I'm Baker, I wouldn't want him either. Baker Mayfield came out and preemptively said, Cleveland, it's been real, it's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. Meanwhile, they looked at Deshaun thinking they was going to get Deshaun Watson. Deshaun said, Cleveland, it's been real, it's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. Now Cleveland stuck. Look left, look right, and found out they ain't got nobody in sight. I feel bad for the Cleveland Browns. I'm embarrassed for the Cleveland Browns. They have completely fumbled this situation.
I agree with you, Acho. They done messed up. You know you done messed up, right?
You know you done messed up.
You know you done messed up, right? You know, I don't use profanity, or I might bleep it.
Oh,
but,
I do.
Anyway, when it comes to a player requesting a trade, a team automatically now loses leverage. Even if they wanted to barter Baker Mayfield and behind his back and request information or receive information from teams and inquire about Baker and what they would be looking for in return of a Baker Mayfield and his abilities to another team, you just lost that. You lost all that juice because now Baker has diminished any type of value that you thought you were going to get of him because he wants out. So now they're not going to, no one's going to offer you something that doesn't even want to be there, and you showed your cards that you didn't really want it either. So now I can give you the bare minimum, the low, and you got to make a decision now if you're Cleveland. And when you've been a quarter or organization that hasn't had a quarterback staple forever, ever really, this looks completely and utterly bad on you. Organizationally, upstairs management, head coach, all of the above. You mishandled it. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have won it out on Baker Mayfield, but to allow all of this to unravel the way it has, you're absolutely right. I believe Baker Mayfield now has leverage that he would have never had.
Wow. Look, y'all are absolutely correct. Amazing takes. Funny takes, too. But y'all didn't start at square one. You started at square two, and that's why everything you said was accurate. But there's something before that I want to highlight, illuminate. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to call your bluff, Baker Mayfield. Bye, boy. Bye-bye. And your $18 million fifth-year option, we didn't want to pay you in the first place. Even though it's kind of cheap, now it looks like it's not worth it. Let me tell you why. Y'all skipped square one, and I'm going to highlight what square one looks like. This was a bad relationship. Y'all can't forget who Baker Mayfield is. Don't let him come out here and flex now and stunt now. 6 wins. 11, 6 wins. What's common? 6 wins. We giving up on 6 wins? Boy, bye. Let me tell you why. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I say, okay, peace. Because we're in a bad relationship, and this is what people do in bad relationships. When you're in a bad relationship, the first thing you start to do is go out a little more, right? Explore your options out there. Even though you're committed, you're going out there. You're going to the salon. You're going to the tavern. You're going to the club. You're going to the lounge. You're running more errands. You're getting your dry cleaning done every day. You're just trying to be out there to see what's out there, right? And all of a sudden, you see Deshaun Watson. Oh, my God. Look at that. Deshaun Watson, got turned down. Now, you go back home if you're the Cleveland Browns, and you're like, well, we still got Baker Mayfield, but remind yourself, you don't want Baker Mayfield. And if you did, you wouldn't have been out in them streets to get turned down by Deshaun Watson. But now you're going to stay in this bad relationship that you already done said is bad by your actions. But since you got something here, you think it's better than nothing.
We got to talk, Sam.
Oh, it's not anything here. So all I'm saying is if I'm the Cleveland Browns, peace. We'll find another 6-win quarterback.
You're feeling yourself.
You're feeling yourself.
Sal,
What?
Don't advise the Browns to make the biggest mistake that we so often make.
What?
The Browns struck out on Deshaun. Let me clarify, Cleveland, because I was there for a 4-12 season. The Browns need Baker Mayfield at this junction in time more than Baker Mayfield needs the Browns. Who are the Browns without Baker Mayfield? The laughingstock of the National Football League. Who are the Browns without Baker Mayfield? 1-31 the previous 2 seasons. Who were the Browns without Baker Mayfield? Had not won a playoff game since 1994. Who are the Browns without Baker Mayfield? Had not been to the playoffs since 2002. Who are the Browns without Baker Mayfield? Had not had a 10-win season since 2007. The Browns need Baker at this junction in time without a backup plan more than Baker needs the Browns. Because who was Baker without the Browns? At least he can still say he was a Heisman Trophy winner. Who was Baker without the Browns? At least he can still say he was a number 1 overall pick. Now, who were the Browns with Baker Mayfield? An 11-5 football team.
Once.
Who were the Browns with Baker Mayfield? A playoff team. Who were the Browns with Baker Mayfield? A playoff winning team. Let's not get so cocky, Cleveland Browns, that we forget who we were without Baker Mayfield. You can get cocky if you got a backup plan. But if you ain't got a backup plan, you better return to this table very humbly. Return to this table with all meekness and sincerity. Cleveland Browns, don't forget who you are. Sal, what did Mufasa say to Simba?
What do you say?
What was it?
Which part?
Who?
He said a lot. It was his daddy.
No, you used to quote this all the time. Who do you think? Remember? It was Rafiki.
Well, he was dead then.
Rafiki said it, I think. One of them said it to Simba.
No,
remember.
it was the spirit of Mufasa.
There it was. Remember, Browns.
Acho.
Hey, I don't watch. Well, talk to me, G. Talk to me, G. I'm here for you.
I was with you.
What happened?
I was with you on your first lap.
I lost you?
with you on your first lap.
I start sprinting.
You lost me.
I start sprinting too fast.
You lost me.
I start going too fast.
You lost me because you making it seem like the Browns are without Baker that they're going back to something that's oh so bad. Like they would have with Baker, without Baker, they have never been a great team. Look, Baker Mayfield had 1 year. He had 1 year. And you can't, as a Cleveland Brown alum,
yes, sir.
you cannot honestly sit here and say, we had that 11-5 year because of Baker Mayfield. You can't honestly say that. And now, yes, he allowed you guys to, he experienced that because he's the head, he's a quarterback, he's your guy. And so, yes, he's going to garner a lot of that, but let's not forget. I'm with Marcellus on this part. 6, 11, 6. They gave him some more leverage because of what they did and how they handled the situation without having a backup plan. I was with you there. But to make it appear that Baker Mayfield is like, I can go back home, I still don't want this guy because I know he's not going to get me over the hump. He's not even good enough to get us back to where we just experienced. I don't believe that to be the case. So if you are already in that feeling, and in those feelings, then look, I'm good. I'll go somewhere else. I'll try to find something else because there is something else that is out there.
Let me get a quick 30. G, here's your problem, and it's not your fault. Greg Jennings has had the luxury, the privilege, and the honor of playing for one of the most historical franchises in NFL history. So to Greg Jennings, 6 wins, 11 wins, 6 wins, that's porous. To Greg Jennings, Baker Mayfield's ceiling is Greg Jennings' historical floor. Let's be honest. Greg Jennings won 10 wins in a regular season and went on to win a Super Bowl. So Greg is coming from a different vantage point, a vantage point I have no idea of, because that is not my experience. See, in Cleveland before Baker showed up, let's just go from when I was drafted to when Baker showed up. I was drafted in Cleveland in 2012. 5 wins, 4 wins, 7 wins, 3 wins, 1 win, 0 wins. Baker Mayfield shows up. 7 wins, 6 wins, 11 wins, 8 wins. So, Greg, remember your experience, big dog. Your experience is not the Baker Mayfield experience. What I'm not going to do is go to Compton and all of a sudden try to act like, man, it ain't that bad. Because my experience is different. Like, my experience is different, G. You can't say that, man, Cleveland is still not all that good. Remember where Cleveland was coming from. I just told y'all, from when I was drafted to when Baker was drafted, the most games Cleveland ever won was 7. Now Baker's shown up, and the fewest games they've ever won was 6, and that was just one time. Gee, just remember the vantage point you're speaking from, big dog. Cleveland, unfortunately, has it good for Cleveland, and I can speak from the truest of experiences.
Can I just real quick?
Not real quick, just talk it.
Okay. You make it seem like Baker Mayfield stabilized everything. If that were the case, then why are we sitting here? Why are we even having this discussion?
Come on, G.
Why are we?
Come on, G. I knew we get there.
You can go to your dressing room, Sal.
Why are we here?
You can go to your dressing room, Sal.
You know what? If you said I do and everything in those vows had been actionable and you've been executing those things, I wouldn't have been out there in them streets. I wouldn't have been sitting down with Deshaun Watson. But you failed on your vows. You haven't delivered. You haven't brought back what you promised, what everybody is all of a sudden falling in love with after 1 year. I've known you before that 1 year when we went to the postseason. I knew you when we first got here. I knew you the second year. I knew you the third year. Yes, you showed me some signs. But then you went back to the old Baker. And then OBJ, he left. We even blamed it on him. We even let him leave, didn't support him, and we definitely didn't support you because we were still in question. But now we bring in Amari Cooper, and we know what he can provide. We know what he did for Dak, but we still don't know if you can be that guy that we can marry with him.
It's limited.
Make sense.
I will. Greg Jennings, where were you in 2003? Where in life were you, sir? Rookie year in the league, in college. Greg Jennings was in college in 2003. Let me put something in context for all of America. Greg Jennings just asked me a phenomenal question. Baker Mayfield didn't stabilize this franchise, did he? It was rhetorical, but a question nonetheless. He absolutely did. And it's crazy that I'm saying this, but in 2003, until now, present day, the Browns' leading passers by season: Holcomb, Garcia, Dilfer, Fry, Anderson, Quinn, McCoy, Whedon, Campbell, Hoyer, McCown, Kessler, Kaiser, Mayfield. Baker Mayfield absolutely did stabilize the franchise. Baker Mayfield is the only Browns quarterback since Greg Jennings was in college to be a leading passer for more than 2 seasons. If you want to talk about stability, Greg Jennings, I know no other version of stability but for one quarterback to be my leading passer for 3 to 4 seasons. What is a cycle? A cycle in life is going through something 4 times. We break our calendar year into quadrants. 4. We talk about Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Baker Mayfield has at least lasted through a cycle, 4 years. How long is a college year? How long is a college process? 4 years. How long is a high school process? 4 years. Baker Mayfield absolutely stabilized the Browns franchise because he gave them 4 years, and nobody has done that.
Hey,
since Kozar.
He ain't stabilized that coaching staff, 4 head coaches, and one of them he tried to kill after he was already dead. Woo! Okay, Baker Mayfield, you ain't getting no credit for just being here. That's what daddies try to do all across the country. Talking about, hey, I was there, physically present. That ain't enough. I need some emotional presence. I need some emotional availability. I need some emotional content, daddy. Instead of just saying I was there but not paying attention or not doing your job. And Baker, 6, and 11 sounds like 6 is your norm. Not good enough. We've already hammered this point, so I'm going to stop that. Acho, Victimhood is the mind. Victimhood is in the mind, not the circumstance. Okay, stop telling me about how bad it's in Cleveland. And you want to go to Compton? I can take you where I'm from. I heard how bad Compton was. I heard how bad my family was. I heard how bad my lineage was. I heard all the curses of my family. And I said, let me break these curses. But damn, I'm glad I didn't have the mindset of looking at the history of my family and letting that dictate what I was going to do. Because all I saw was high school grads, GEDs, and dropouts. But guess what I said? Whatever, let's do something different. Baker, you had the opportunity. They handed you the keys. Do something different. But you didn't do anything different. Now we're looking at this situation like this. Baker is trying to challenge this organization to say, like we've all been in this relationship, who you gonna get that's better than me? Let me go. Well, let me remind you, I didn't want you in the first place. Once we saw who you were, and this discovery took 4 years, you started to show your colors, and that's why we were trying to text Deshaun. That's why we was trying to fly out to see Deshaun. So what? Deshaun doesn't want me. Doesn't mean I got to come back, tuck my tail, and want you. I already showed you I don't want you. And Baker, smart play, because this is your only play, to act like, well, you know what? We have already went out here and spoiled this situation. We have already went out here and messed up this situation. We can't work together. Which to another team is going to look a little childish to the report that, oh, you got in your feelings because they didn't want you. They wanted something greater than you. Welcome to sports. Welcome to football. Woo, here's my last point, because we got to keep going on this.
We rocking.
Let me say something. This is why in my relationship and every relationship I'm in, I always tell them, and I always heard this, don't argue in public. I saw some video going around, I don't know if it's an argument or not, of Patrick Mahomes and his wife. Hey, I hope y'all, whatever y'all going through, don't do that in public. Let me tell you why. All this business got out about the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson and all that, and Baker Mayfield now, his feelings out there. Y'all arguing in public. So now you're going to put yourself in positions where you got to now support your stance. You never want to be in a position where you just got to always be loyal to your stance, because as Acho has said this before, your stances change. Your circumstances certainly do. So now Baker Mayfield, planted your flag. Hopefully it's not in turf this time. It's actually a flag planted in grass, because, boy, you trying to flex like they don't know who you are is kind of hilarious.
Here's the thing, and I love what you said, Sel, but I believe Baker Mayfield is the exact person that you all are looking for. Why do I say this? Sel, you brought up phenomenal points. You didn't let the curses of your past dictate your future. You didn't let your familial curses, your historical curses, you didn't let none of that dictate your future.
Amen.
Y'all do realize Baker Mayfield didn't either. Y'all do realize the Cleveland Browns were the only football team in football history to win one game out of their previous 32. Like, y'all do realize Baker Mayfield stepped into the historically worst situation any quarterback has ever stepped into. His mom and dad weren't present. He wasn't adopted by nobody. He was homeless on the streets. He grew up in the hood. He didn't have no food in the neighborhood, and he had to go to water from a pond, find water in a pond, and still made it to college and graduated because he won a playoff game. Y'all do realize that Baker Mayfield looked at his horrendous situations, historically, Greg Jennings, worse than anybody's situation ever, and he won a playoff game, and y'all are now going to scoff at that. Like, I just want to remind you all who y'all are knocking. I don't even love Baker Mayfield on the field based upon his last season, but I at least respect what Baker Mayfield has done and who Baker Mayfield is. This might be because I was in Cleveland. Full transparency and full disclosure. I told you, Greg Jennings, I've told you, Marcellus Wiley, I had a gambling problem, not a Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan gambling problem. I didn't have Charles Barkley or Michael Jordan money, but I had a gambling problem. Why y'all think I had one? Where was I drafted, y'all?
Oh, you gonna blame
I was in Cleveland.
You gonna blame Cleveland?
Ain't nothing. We weren't winning no games. So I was gonna try to win some games of blackjack. Baker Mayfield has literally resurrected the Browns franchise from an abyss, and y'all are going to discredit that. I can't stand by and watch it.
No, we're not discrediting it. What we're doing is we're allowing our experiences and our exposure to more to elevate our eyes. Let me give you a little backtrack. So when I grew up, I didn't come from a whole lot. My parents weren't terrible. We were middle class. I got hand-me-downs, all the things. So when I traveled on teams, we stayed at like the Motel 6, Super 8. I thought they were fantastic because that I didn't stay at a hotel. We stayed at family members' home in rooms all together. And so when I would stay at these hotels, I'm like, I didn't know that there was even better hotels. I'm like, man, this is amazing. It was all I knew because it was better than what I had experienced. But then I got to the point, Acho, where my exposure to something better was presented. I encountered that. And it opened my eyes to realize that it's not that those hotels were bad. It's just that it was all I had in that moment. It was all I could entertain in that moment. But now I can entertain something greater. So when you talk about Baker Mayfield, all of what you said, that's awesome. But at the end of the day, I'm looking around and I'm still saying, but I can do better. It's not good enough because everybody else, I've experienced and I've seen and I've encountered what everybody else has. And what everybody else has is a real difference maker at the quarterback position. And in order for us to experience that lavish life, we got to get something different. I'm not saying you're not good. You're good. You're just good to something. You're even great to somebody who doesn't know any better. But for us, I know a little bit better. So I'm going to go out and seek what is better. That is the Cleveland Browns organization right now. Because why do I say that's the organization right now? Because the culture is shifting. Kevin Stefanski and others, they're not settling. They're not settling. They're not okay with the mediocre or the stabilizing. No. We're not on life support anymore. Like we're pumping, and now you're taking away from what we're doing. So look, buddy, if you want out, you want out. Fine. And matter of fact, I didn't win all the way back to the other side. I'm with you now, Wiley. I done jumped all the way on ship. I'm done. I was trying to help Baker out. I was saying he did hurt their trade value as far as what they can get because once a player acknowledges that they want to be traded. But outside of that, man, call this bluff.
And that's why
Let's go see who he really is.
Hamburger. That's why they saying we're not going to accommodate your trade request. Not because we want you, it's because we don't want to let you go for less. So obvious right here in this situation. I hate when people try to handcuff you to your history, especially when they think it's bad and they try to put you. Somebody hit me today talking about, oh man, you changed. My reply was, you haven't? Like, fool, what do you think this game about? I'm going to get my change, and I'm going to change. Evolve, y'all, evolve. The Cleveland Browns are not the old paper bag Cleveland Browns right now, not in talent, not in roster construction, not in coaching. They're ready. And they're like, at the most important position, we're not ready. Oh, Baker trying to strike that fear in them. Hey, you remember 1-31? You remember before me? I know, more importantly, with you. Too many sixes. Ain't that bad luck? 666, 6 wins, 6 wins, 6 wins. That's to me. Andy, where the number 6? I can't do another 6 with you, Baker. We can't do 6 more wins, bro. You got to go. And let me tell you this. This is a real story, but Baker's framing it. And here's 2 small moments in my life that is going to highlight what Baker's doing. Baker's my ex who said this. Who you going to get that's better than me? I remember hearing this. I heard my real talk. After we already went through all these 6-win seasons, she got the nerve to say, who you going to get better than me? And I was like, frankly, I don't know. And right now in this moment, I don't care. But more importantly, why do you care? Like, Baker, like this ain't a conversation for you to throw back at me like, who you going to get better than me? I'll figure that out. And y'all don't believe me? This happened to me in Jacksonville my 10th year. The 10th year, I was going to go after Ben Roethlisberger, some run-around play. My bone snapped, growing off the bone, hurt. I limped to the locker room. I said, that's it. Everybody's like, Wally, that ain't it, man. You still can play. Stop playing. And I was like, nah, dog, that's it. What you gonna do that's better than this? Acho. Now I see the Acho face. What you gonna do that's better than this, Wiley? I don't know, but I'm gonna do something. And in this moment, I don't know. But why do you care? I'll show you. And then look, since that point, I've been in the game talking this talk for a long time. I just hate when people try to make you look backwards and then all of a sudden look at them like they up. Baker, you did a good play in the business world, but in the real on the field, ain't nobody seeing this for what it ain't.